At Roadkill Nights, TK's Garage, OC Motivator, and myself came face to face with the biggest names within Stellantis, Dodge, and Ram, and even rode my dear friend Tim Kuniskis' Bull for 9 seconds. But what if I told you that the three amigos had a sit-down interview with Dodge CEO Matt McAlear, and I asked him some very important questions that you guys left on our previous video. So did the interview go well, or did we get escorted off the property? Okay, I'm over 50,000 friends, and the 57% of you guys who are watching these videos and haven't hit the subscribe button, help a butter out and hit the subscribe button, because you do not want to miss all the bombshells that we learned at Roadkill Nights this year. Because trust me, it might have been one of the most important events to happen in years. But let's get right into this interview now. And you have to forgive me because I'm not this big set up the scene type person and do all that here and there when I'm interviewing people, because I never had to interview somebody face to face like that before. So you don't see this big glorious intro to this big interview. I just jumped straight into talking just like this right here. First of all, definitely is very excited about the price and everything that went down, because all the prices across the boards went down. And I'm going like, they snuck in at 392 Durango. I'm like, yeah. So
the same price as the old 5.7.
So I was like, oh man, like, because that's one thing we all been like, man, I wish Dodge would just lower the prices, lower the prices. And then everything just went down across the board. All the Durango prices kind of like they jumped down like a different trim level, like 5.7 jumped down to GT and the 392 jumped down to with RT.
More horsepower for the masses.
Yeah, and more affordable. And that's like the main thing, because like I did a video before I got here, and I told people, hey, give me like the top question that you want me to ask either Tim or Matt. The number one question everybody kept saying, it got like hundreds of likes, was basically getting prices down for the people who's like a middle American,
okay,
to where they can actually afford to get into like the performance cars, because it was kind of get to the point where like, you know, with the Red Eyes and Hellcats and Demon stuff, they're all pushing 100 grand, and people don't have house money to go buy a car.
Well, hopefully this is a big step in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean it definitely is like a Durango, that price, and then even with the Charger, the 6-packs, like I'm thinking like, you know, the price of the Mustang, for example, Dark Horse, that's 65 grand for 500 horsepower, and y'all literally just basically went 10 grand lower than them with a bigger car, all-wheel drive, and more horsepower.
You said it, not me.
Yeah, so I'm like how did the prices drop? Because that was something that people had like a kind of like a criticism of for the past like 2-3 years.
Well, I think, you know, it's a reaction to the changes that have happened with the company, with the regulatory involvement in Washington, and we're constantly looking at delivering more value into what our customers need. You know, we continue to listen. Sometimes it doesn't always feel like it, right?
Yeah.
But we hear everything that's going on. We can't always react and move as quick as we would like to. I mean, this is you know, turning an aircraft carrier around at sea. It takes a while, and you know, a lot of times you're stuck and you have to pivot in model years, between model years, and you know, pulling the trigger and launching these V8s across the board on Durango. We could have waited till 27 model year.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little bit clunky. In the middle of the 26 model year, we've already started building some V6s. We're going to have V6 GTs out there that we've already been in production, but starting with orders next week, we're flipping the script and we're going all in on Hemis, and because it's the right thing to do. And you know what? There's no reason to wait for 27 model year. Let's go now.
So I just want to interject here on this interview, which is not really an interview, it's more like a conversation, because we talked to Matt right here basically about, I say about 3 to 4 hours after the whole announcement, all the price and stuff like that. So between that time with the announcements and this time in the interview, I have talked to a lot of people in between then. So there are some questions I'm not necessarily going to ask in this conversation with Matt McAlear, and because I know the answer to some of my questions that I was going to ask, so I wasn't going to ask him the same thing twice. And so those things that I learned between that time period, I'm going to talk about different videos. But for this particular interview right here, I definitely wanted to give kudos to the pricing, because that was the number one thing everyone complains about when they talk about Dodge in the past year or two. Pricing. And later on in this interview, we're going to talk about getting the crap sorted out between Dodge, their cars, and dealership pricing. We're going to get to that in a second. But just this little piece right here with the Durango and stuff, that is freaking awesome how they dropped all the prices across the board for the old Durango and his new car across the board. Because as I pointed out in other videos, right, before we went to this event, I told you guys, with no cafe fines and no car fines, these manufacturers should get together and drop all their car prices down between $5,000 to $10,000. And Dodge literally did exactly that across the board. You can get a Charger Daytona now from 80 something grand now to 60 grand starting. That's a ton of money for that car that's knocked off, and that car basically is a steal at 60 grand. You're literally getting a all-wheel drive Hellcat. I mean, like I said, regardless of the powertrain, you're literally getting a 700 horsepower with 670 horsepower Hellcat all-wheel drive that you can drive literally all weather. I know about the whole software thing, but if your car works, that'd be a great proposition. Like, you're literally getting back to 2015 pricing of getting like a 60 grand, almost 7 horsepower all-wheel drive car that can legit, you know, be as fast as a Hellcat. Then you got these 6-pack cars. Like I said, just drivetrain aside, just the thought of having a 550 horsepower 6-pack car, all-wheel drive, be 10 grand cheaper than a Mustang, and is way bigger than a Mustang, and it has all-wheel drive. That is crazy to think. And you can still get a 4-door version for 8 grand less than a Mustang with 5 horsepower, right? That's just crazy how they did this pricing. They got very aggressive with it. And I'm telling you guys, just because they got rid of Carbon Cafe, those are the main reasons why they got rid of got the prices down. And think about this too. The Charger is still made in Windsor. Canada still has 35% tariffs. So could you just imagine if tariffs between US and Canada get worked out, how much lower that price could probably go in another year? They might be able to drop prices again another couple grand just because of tariff costs. And then when it comes to like more high performance cars, because I'm just going to say within 2 years, the Hellcat era might be a joke. This new era of Dodge and Ram and maybe Jeep vehicles and Chrysler vehicles, these, I think by 2 years, it might be one of the best periods of cars we ever experienced if you're a Dodge fan. And this is just me going there, not sucking at Dodge's teeth or whatever, or Ram's teeth, but collectively talking to, like, we were stopped so many times talking to people and people messages in the background and stuff over those 2 days. I'm telling you, 2 years, give it 2 years. The Hellcat era may be a daggone joke. And I'm just saying, there's so much exciting things we learned. And this right here, it just basically, this is really the gateway to muscle, not the Hornet. The Hornet was not really the gateway to muscle. The Tim Kuniskis said, this period right here is a gateway to awesomeness, the gateway to like a crazy period. So I'm gonna tell you guys right now, before I get to the rest of this interview, I'm about to go back to the interview. Save your money, because I guarantee within 2 years, you're gonna be broke because there are gonna be so many different cars you're gonna wanna buy. Save your money right now. And you know, a perfect segue to me talking about saving your money is the conversation I just had about how about, you know, having a cheaper Charger, which is going to be in this interview right now. Be like any like more budget friendly Chargers, like maybe like a Pentastar or something like that, and in the future to kind of like bring that cost down. I think the cheapest Hurricane Charger was 45 around there. I can't remember exactly the price was.
Yeah, we just 49,995.
Yeah,
so 420 horsepower. So that is the most horsepower standard across the board of any muscle car. We've got the 550, which is the most horsepower available in the industry under 55. As far as you know, what's next? If you look at, we're less than a year into this car. Yeah. And we've already got 670 horsepower, 550, 420, 2-door, 4-door. We'll have a lot going on that we're looking to ramp up on. Okay. But we're just getting started. And if you go back, and I always say, if history repeats itself, if history is any indication of where you're going, and you look at the last generation of cars, when we launched them, we had 3.5s and 6.1 liters, and then 3.6 liter, and 6.4 liter, and 6.2 liter, 6.2 liter high output, 6.2 liter, red eye high output, Demon 1.6. We're constantly evolving, but it's pushing performance to the next level. And having SRT back as a dedicated division now gives us one more arrow in the quiver to allow us to focus in on development. So, we hear you. Our showroom, we need to launch more affordable cars, and we can never do it as quick as you, the dealers, and the customers want. But we hear you, and we're working on it. Okay.
So for the foreseeable future, really the only SRT model in Dodge is going to be the Durango.
As of right now, the Durango SRT Hellcat continues to be an incredible. We've just repositioned the price again, launching Jailbreak, over 6 million combinations. That's not a program you can launch on any car in any manufacturing plant. Durango is an incredible SUV. It cross shops with the industry above it, the segment above it. It's the last V8 available in the segment, but it's garageable, it's parkable, it's drivable, it's 7-passenger unit. It's a phenomenal vehicle that we're excited we can work with the plant and allow that customization that people loved on the old Chargers and Challengers and give them exactly what they want.
So I did remember reading on Mopar Insider saying that they're going to be like a one-on-one jailbreak program, or like a one-on-one program on the Durango Hellcat. So is there going to be like an application process, or is it going to be like something you guys reach out to like you did with the D170?
So we'll reach out to a select group of people that that we show own a number of Dodges, and we're going to reach out to D170 owners first that we're part of that program and see if they're interested. If you look, that program is an ultra exclusive program that we're excited to launch. But without that program, we still have over 6 million combinations that most people will be able to do their own one-on-one right from the factory without the customized paint. Yeah,
but some people are fanatical because like one thing I was saying that like I would like to see when SRT comes back is the option to be able to paint match your vehicles to other ones that you already own, right? So if I got a subline D170, I would love to have like a subline Durango or a subline TRX to kind of match the lineup and stuff. So I was like, I would like that to be an option where it's kind of like more available for somebody to do it, because somebody was willing to pay the money, because the D170 was $30,000 to do it. So if someone's willing to pay the money to do it, that can be an application process. Someone can be like, hey, can I reach out to you and can y'all approve me or not approve me and stuff?
Well, there's working through that process is very timely. It's not it's not mass production. It takes several weeks for each vehicle. So there's a very finite number of vehicles. I think we only did 30 something or under 30 on Demon 170.
Yeah, I think it was like my final, because I got the list. I know every color but one. I think it's like 38.
Yeah. So it's a very select process, and we start looking at those fanatics that, and I said, have a small fleet of Dodges already. Some of our owners that have the most Dodges in their fleet, and that's who we start with that have supported us over the years. And then we'll see. You never know if they aren't interested, then we'll come up with a way to extend the program.
Okay. So I'm just going to interject real quick before TK Osumevere asked their question, because we only had about a few more minutes after I started talking to them back and forth about stuff. But yeah, that's so definitely wanted to know with the actual Charger if they would make a cheaper, what TK's call a food stamp version of their car to bring more people into their car, because 50 grand is still a lot of money to actually jump to the cheapest Dodge car, right? So I don't know whether or not they're going to actually do a Pentastar in there. We was hoping they would do a Pentastar car. I think if they put a Pentastar in there, it might drop the price down about maybe $5,000-$10,000 below the actual 5.7. But I think a Pentastar will be a great option for Dodge to kind of make the Charger as cheap as humanly possible. But given that the Pentastar is gone out of the actual Durango, I don't know if they would do that anymore, or would they consider putting like maybe an inline 4 engine inside of the Charger to bring the price down. We just had to see. But it is very interesting that he keeps talking about all different engines that went to the Charger over the previous term. So we definitely know a big engine is going in this car, and I've hinted throughout this event of stuff like that I would love to see a Elephant. Like somebody asked me, what would you like to see next come from Dodge? And I was like, yeah, basically a 426 Charger, and I want to see an actual hole cut in the hood and let the blower pop up through the hood, and you can see like a Hellcat shaker, right? You see especially if it's like a 426 Elephant, I want to see that black blower pop through the hood. I can see the daggone badge from the Demon's badge or whatever, but it might be changed by the time the engine comes out. And I hit the gas, the damn blower just shakes. Like I would love to see a Hellcat 426 Elephant blower pop through the hood, because that dome is in the hood. And then somebody asked me like, what would you like to see SRT come out with? I was like, a 426 Ram TRX with E85. Could that be stupid powerful? It will crap on forward, and then I can use cheap fuel. And I'm like, I will 426 everything when carb is gone, because you'll be able just to print money and cannot keep that daggone vehicles. Whatever vehicle that engine is in, you might be able to keep it on the shelf, and then you'll have guys that go around and try to buy literally every 426 version of a vehicle for their collection. So that's basically what I was talking to them about, in the background, multiple people and stuff. So there's other interesting things I got me videos on, but I want to kind of interject that. But yeah, we're definitely getting kind of little hints and stuff like that there's definitely Hemi. And then I was talking to him about the SRT stuff that, I would love to see to a point to where an SRT you can customize your SRT exactly how you want it, right? If I want to have a SRT TRX, for example, and I want to paint match to my freaking Demon 170 being sublight green, I should be able to pay SRT 10, 15, 20 extra $1,000 to make that happen. I think this whole process of there's only a finite number of cars they can do, I mean, I would find a way to get over that, because there's a ton of money that they are leaving on the table if they don't do exclusive SRT models. Because, like, I put it like this: if dudes are willing to pay 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 over a sticker for certain models, you don't think they'll pay 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 to make a one-on-one version of the car, right? Like, if they can go find a dealer who won't charge them a markup, and they can go spend that markup money on one-on-one exclusivity, I think guys would do it. But I just wanted to leave that there. But the rest of this interview is basically going to be OC2K asking questions and stuff. So I'll see you back after that.
Dealers, if you can't answer this, you can't say anything, just say can't. We won't even put it out there. But is there anything? I know it's hard for you guys, the dealers, franchise laws, everything else. But anything you can do with the mark? I mean, because are they going to be throttled at all in the markups, or is it just?
These are not limited. We are, we're doing everything we can to take as many orders as we can, and potentially add a third shift back at Windsor if the demand's there. There's nothing we would like more than to, build as many as we can.
Because if you can at least, I won't say flood the market, put enough into the market, the dealers won't be able to strangle us with big markups again.
No, we don't encourage that, and we don't endorse that. And from an allocation standpoint, it's always based on a turn and earn. So if they're marking them up and they're not turning them, and the consumers are going to the dealers that aren't marking them up, that dealer's going to earn more of them.
But there's nothing you guys can do about it from the manufacturer.
That's their customers.
Speaking of that,
I just want people to hear it from you guys, because they think you can. They think it's your fault they're doing it, and you guys can't. I understand that.
We don't endorse it. We work with the dealer body and ask them not to. But at the end of the day, they're independent franchise-owned dealers, and each one of them is allowed to make their own decisions based on their market. But yeah, absolutely, it's not something we endorse, that we favor, that we encourage. And we would just soon everything went out for MSRP, and everybody was happy.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, so like, speaking of that, so California and some other states, they got that hell of a time in getting the MSRP cars, because you had to get like carb versions and non-carb certified versions. So with all the emission stuff changing, will you guys had to make carb versions of the inline six and non-carb versions, or just one car?
So no, the inline sixes are carb approved. So those are 50 state cars. Those can go anywhere.
Oh, so you can basically just go out of state.
Amen.
Yeah. We helped somebody last year, the guy who bought a Hellcat or a Scat Pack in Texas, and he had to get the stamp, and he had to get his car back because he couldn't get a stamp for California.
I have no idea how that got solved, and we're not going to talk about that today.
No, I'm just saying, but like that's a problem with some people who are trying to buy a car, but then they're locked in their market. They can't go outside the market because they were like, is this carb certified? Carb certified? The guy was like, oh yeah, it's carb certified, but when you try to take it to California, oh, not carb certified. Right. Sorry, you can't register.
This is all 50 state. All the cars are all 50 states. So I'll just fly to St. Louis and drive back.
Yeah, you can basically just shop across. That's a good thing. But like, hey, look, if the dealer don't want to give you give you a good deal, go shop across the country, and cheaper go fly there and drive it back home. There we go. That's definitely, because that's one thing that a lot of people who are in California, like especially like people who bought TRXs, I got people hit me up all the time. Oh man, can you find TRX? Can you make sure it's carb legal? Because I can't register California if it's not carb legal. I'm like, it's kind of hard to try to talk to each dealer.
Ask him about gas mileage. Is it better on the 6?
We're waiting for the final approvals to come back right now, so I can't officially say anything, but it is an improvement, yes, over the outgoing cars. So it outperforms with all-wheel drive, 0 to 60 horsepower torque. So we're excited.
That's gonna be nice.
It gives you the tunability you want as well with that.
Speaking of that, will the ECUs be unlocked?
BMW's ain't, I can tell you that.
Nope.
It says pill out phase out September of this year for 2026. So hold on. You get the order in. All right, you get the order before September. Because you can order these in August, can't you? What, a few weeks? Next week?
Starting Wednesday.
Yeah.
Starting Wednesday. So better get your order in, or you pill out.
Being on if I get it, it's not gonna do me dirty. I'll get it done.
Any plans, or would the SRT division of Dodge want to create a demon version of this Charger?
It's a great question.
Get ready.
theoretically, we're always looking to evolve performance. And as I said, we're less than a year in, and we don't have no intentions of standing still and stopping the development. And I think the most exciting thing about SRT coming back as a dedicated division is to give a group of dedicated people separate from the core team. It takes a special group of engineers to develop a car from the ground up, launch it, engineer it, and manufacturability. It also takes a special group of people that are hot rodders at heart, that know how to get the most out of a car. And sometimes those are the same, sometimes they're not. But to have a dedicated group that is focused on nothing except getting the most performance we can out of this platform is exciting. So we got a big future ahead of us.
Okay. Only other question I have for you is, how close are we to the $30,000-ish Halo car you talked about in the podcast?
Oh yeah, what was that, sports car?
So that, I still think there's a tremendous opportunity, and I think the point of that and we're always looking at stuff. A Halo car does not have to be your most expensive car.
Yeah, like a Neon, SRT core.
There needs to be an entry-level performance that people can gravitate to, and we're still that is an untapped part of the market that we're constantly evolving.
Cool. And last question is, did you put Tim up to putting us all on the bull? Because I still can't feel my thigh muscles.
I'm gonna give you guys a bet. I'm like, what?
Did you hear that?
Was Tim in charge of the joystick?
He did.
Yeah.
And he threw.
He went soft on Racer X. He went soft to him, and we was like, he gonna work that bull on how much he didn't like our videos. So TK was off by 3 seconds. Like,
Sounds like you were all on it. And you
Yeah.
were running it.
He was controlling it.
And I was in here. Come on.
we got it on video.
It was humiliating and embarrassing. But we'll still put it up.
You're laughing.
It was fun. It was awesome. And he did put a wager on there. We were all gonna get loaner 6-packs for like 6 months. It was pretty amazing. So that's why he took control. He took control of it. We were gone. Well, thank you so much.
Glad you guys came out, made the trip. We're gonna have a lot of fun tomorrow.
So that's basically was the end of the interview. So no real big revelations in this, but I got a lot more information from this interview, sitting down with Matt McAlear and talking with Tim Kuniskis and all these other Slams employees. Like, it's crazy to think all these people know exactly who we are, and they like, hey, Butter. I'm like, hey, I had no idea who you are, but we watch your videos. Like, oh, hey, yeah. I make your life interesting. Yeah, I make your life interesting. Yeah. So it's like, it was definitely interesting talking to certain people out there, and then talking to people who are executives, people who are like employees, people who work for the UAW, people who, let's just say, are friends of friends. It definitely was interesting stopping and talking to a lot of people. And I definitely am very optimistic for Dodge. I'm telling you, after this, I'm going to say that Dodge is going to have a lame duck year. And then after this lame duck year, because all this crap they got to go through with Tavares, and still got to get CARB out of the way, because CARB still is not fully officially done yet. But once all the crap from CARB is out of the way, you're going to get dizzy with the amount of things that basically Dodge and Ram has planned that I heard about. It's like insane to think that the Hellcat era may be like an appetizer for the things that could be coming, and the kind of power that we could have in some of these cars going forward. It's just crazy to think that. And this is not me just being a suck up to Dodge. It just me just reading the room, reading the temperature. That a lot of these guys, they want to bring performance, they want to bring the power, they want to bring the heat, but they just have to wait. They just have to wait. And that's just the thing, is like, but they get it, they understand it. But let me know what you guys think in this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I'm kind of losing my voice, so I haven't really made video talk about all the stuff going on. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Do you think Dodge is on the right track? Do you guys think that Dodge is going to offer some very cool, interesting models? Do you think Dodge is going to offer some cheaper models? Because we were talking to them about that, and you guys think there are going to be some very powerful models coming soon. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And trust me when I tell you, I'm going to make some very interesting videos for a lot of things that I learned. So make sure you guys stay tuned. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, comment down below. And until the next time, I am out.